Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my final day. This is day 7 now of our throwback reviews, doing a sequence of them, 7 Days of Dead. Day 7, this one we're going to be taking a look at the Season 4 premiere. Going to be doing a throwback review, giving my thoughts on the episode from today's standpoint, leading up to, of course, the premiere tomorrow of the second half of The Walking Dead Season 5. Okay, so got a chance to watch this one all the way through again, and I hope you guys have been liking these, 7 days of throwbacks, to some other episodes at certain points in time in the Walking Dead television series. So that said, if you guys missed any of them, you want to check them out, we did quite a few. We did Better Angels, we did 18 Miles Out, we did the Season 3 Killer Within, we did the finale from Season 3, Welcome to the Tombs, we did Clear, and we're doing this one as well. So now this one, of course, I think makes a lot of sense for me to do in this order because we just did Welcome to the Tombs, which was a Season 3 premiere. Now, as each season of The Walking Dead goes through, you get a lot of different feels from the show. Very, very different feels. Different location, different characters. You have different set of circumstances. At this point in time, 30 Days Without an Accident, which is Season 4, Episode 1, coming in from the end of Season 3, this one feels so much different. It's really crazy compared to where it was at in Season 3. The whole feel of the show is different. The pacing is different. The the story is totally different. Rather than having kind of this Woodbury versus prison thing. Now Woodbury has been defeated. All of their survivors have been assimilated into the prison, and then also the people of the prison have formed a council and been taking in other newcomers. So anybody out there in the open that passes their, I guess, interviews, so to speak, like Bob, is allowed to join the prison group, and it has grown to a pretty good size. As we can see, they have classes. You've got Carol teaching the kids how to use knives and stuff, story time. You've got, rather than Rick just making decisions, you've got this whole council. You've got Daryl going on runs with teams. You've got Michonne, who's out looking for the governor. You've got Herschel, Rick farming, which is quite a bit different from what we're used to seeing him do. That was like at that time a 6-month time skip between the events of the Season 3 finale, Welcome to the Tombs, with the governor attacking the prison and just destroying most of the outside of it up until this point. So and also too, they did a great job of showing the evolution of the prison as an environment. You have, it looks a lot different than it did in Season 3. Now you have all the more characters, but you also have, they kind of show us how these characters are surviving, how they're living there. They show us the showers, they show us Rick's little farm and how he's growing food for everybody, and soon he'll be able to grow enough for everyone. And Herschel kind of guiding him. You have Carol and the others making food, and a lot of background characters that we're not really used to seeing as part of the group, because it's become not just Rick's group, but this whole prison group. You've got Bob in there, Sasha, Tyrese, and it's really diverse in terms of the amount of survivors that you have, rather than just a small group, which we're kind of used to, a lot bigger of a group. But the one thing about it is that even though it is a bigger group, and you do have Bob, who becomes an important character later on, most of the other characters that we see either in the background or clearing walkers out from the fence, there's the Karen and David thing, majority of the survivors there just don't make it very long. They don't make it out past Too Far Gone. After Too Far Gone, it's like, aside from Bob, we're back to the regular group again. So that is a little bit strange. Maybe they should have kept maybe a couple more characters, because it does feel like there's so many. But that said, it's like Rick and the others with the prison, they're kind of keeping those people alive when maybe they wouldn't be able to survive on their own much longer, aside from when they up until the point when they were found, maybe they were in bad situation. So that said, aside from kind of showing us what the prison is like now, and kind of catching up with all the characters and what they've been doing since the time skip, we get two kind of new storylines, or two things that occur. One is the big spot, where they go to the big spot for the run to get supplies. and then the other one is with Rick and that female who has the weird accent. Who I really like what they did with her. Her storyline, even though at first you might think it kind of feels like filler for the premiere. It's pretty interesting, the dialogue that she says. She brings in this concept about them not being able to come back from the things they do. And this is going to come back into play later on as well, too. Even the description for one of the episodes in the second half of The Walking Dead Season 5 kind of talks about Rick and the others. Are they going to be able to kind of come back from the things they did, or are they too far gone themselves after seeing Terminus, after all these things that have happened to them since the prison? And also the governor, because of the episode Too Far Gone, of course, Rick saying we get to come back and everything. That's Herschel, who talks in this episode and says, not even then would you become like her, because Rick says he was on the verge of becoming like that. And Herschel corrects him and says, no, you wouldn't, not even then. You get to come back, you do. So it starts off that whole kind of concept, and then they bring it back in with Too Far Gone, and they'll probably bring it back in again, later on as well. In this, second half of season 5. So now aside from that, there isn't much else really to do with her. It does take up a bit of time in the episode, but I do think it's interesting to kind of see where a random survivor type character that's surviving alone, what she would be like and what she would have to do to survive. And we kind of figure out pretty quickly, or Rick finds out, that what she's been doing is her husband, this Eddie guy, is not actually alive. He's a zombie in a bag, basically, and it doesn't even look like a whole zombie, like maybe just a part of him, like his head and maybe his torso or something. And that she's been luring people back, live flesh, to give him to eat, or animals and things like that to eat. Right? So really, really dark in terms of what that character was all about. But it worked out nicely, because upon first viewing, I remember thinking, is Rick either seeing, does this person not exist? Is he seeing things? She has some slight similarities to Lori, right? The color of the hair and that. And I don't know, it was just kind of one of those things at first where I wasn't entirely sure they were showing us what it seemed like they were. And they were though. But yeah, so that one, that's kind of where I'm at with that one. It kind of gave us an idea of what the world is like out there and how dark it can be for survivors that don't have some kind of home base, don't have some kind of location to stay in, and don't have anybody. You can go pretty nutty, and you don't get to come back from the things you do, according to her, which is also, coincides with the governor and what he says and what he does. So there's that one, right? Not bad. Is it something we should see in a premiere? This premiere is it's like a start of a new story with the season. So it's not like the season 5 premiere or the season 2 premiere. It's a new beginning. It's a new start. So it doesn't feel a lot like the others, where you have this big, huge premiere where it's like almost like a finale with Carol attacking Terminus and that, and really, really exciting. This one is not that. It's like a beginning to a new story. Which is why it is fun to see, because it's so unique in that regard. It's so different from everything else, right? So there's that with Rick. Aside from that, the big spot stuff is really cool. You get to see. Now this part is kind of premiere-ish in terms of action in that you have the zombies falling down through the roof because of the helicopter that hit up there, that crashed up there. So you have them, and they're just, they're kind of, falling down through. You have the Bungie Gets Zombie Mines up there somewhere, the action figure of him. So you've got that, he falls down through, and his guts get tied up on the building, and he just hangs. This is so gross. So you see that, and then you see, tons of zombies start falling down through to the point where the helicopter even is, falls through, that type of thing at the end. In all of that, we get to kind of find out a little bit about Bob. He's able to survive then, but we can kind of tell he's not a great survivor. He's not great at fighting off zombies or anything like that. You get to see Glenn almost get bitten, but he's able to survive. Daryl, and then you've got Zach, who does actually get bitten and has a brutal death, just brutal. So there's that. Now he was kind of that boyfriend for Beth at that time, right? In the show, that she, from our perspective, it seemed like she did care about him, but she kind of blocked herself off, whereas she didn't let herself, it seems to me anyway, get too close because she knew that he could die at any time, right? And of course he does. And she doesn't cry or anything at the end. She hugs Daryl when he tells her, but that's about it. And then she takes the counter off the 30 days without an accident. So the big spot stuff is really exciting. It's really fun to see, and it's got good replay value. The other female who we see, not the best replay value. It's okay. And then the prison scene is pretty cool because you get to see where they were at this point in time in the series compared to where they are now, where they don't have a well-established group, they don't have a home base, and the governor has basically taken that from them. So in terms of how this stacks up, it's a good start to a new story. You've got Patrick at the end who dies there in the shower. And also when he meets Daryl, that's always a weird scene when he meets him and he treats him like he's a celebrity or something. It's just really weird. He calls him Mr. Dixon and stuff, and it's just weird. It's strange. So that's pretty much everything that the episode that entails. You've got Michonne. She's looking for the governor. Daryl kind of is asking her why. She's thinking about going to Macon. And the funny thing is, they kind of talk to her as if it's stupid to do so. It's pointless to do so. When, in actuality, it's probably the most effective or the best job of anybody in the community is trying to find this guy and kill him, because if she's successful, they're going to be able to stay at the prison for who knows how long, maybe forever, right? But because they're not able to find him, he's able to take over this group and then bring him back and attack the prison again because he's kind of asphyxiated on taking it now after losing it at the end of season 3. So it's not a bad premiere. It's a pretty cool story arc, seeing the illness and everything. It doesn't have the best replay value, though, as I've said before. It's not the most exciting thing to watch over again, the illness stuff. But it is interesting in its own regard because the characters had a home base at that time, and, pretty much since then, since Too Far Gone, they haven't. So that's pretty much all I got to say about this one. Throwback score, I give this one like a 9 out of 10. It's a great beginning to a new story. It's not climactic or anything like that, but it gives us a pretty cool sense of what the characters have been up to, where they're at that time, and what it would be like, or what it was like for them when they had this huge or way bigger group where Rick didn't even need to be in charge at all. He could just let it go, compared to now where, you've got him and Abraham too, but they're really calling the shots on the road. So, kind of a back and forth, kind of, surviving, and then here they're thriving, they're doing extremely well, and then the governor brings them back down again, and then they're on the road, afterwards. Aside from that, any other mentions? Really, visually, it looks better than season 3. I'll have to say that. Like, the zombies look much better. The camera work, even to me, for some reason, looks like better quality. I don't know if they upped the quality or something, but it really looks good in this season. Really pro. So let me know what you guys thought about this episode in particular. What you thought about the illness story arc in The Walking Dead. The governor kind of losing in Welcome to the Tombs, which you talked about yesterday. If you missed that video, check it out. And then kind of building back up and then attacking again. It did give us more time at the prison, which was cool because in season 3 we never saw them really develop the prison like they have in this this season, where you have this pretty impressive community. That's going to be able to survive, be self-reliant based on food that Rick is growing, everybody's growing, to be able to survive just on that. So hey, I don't know. It's a cool time. I wanted to pick it out because it's so different from where we're at right now. So that said, if there's any other throwback reviews you guys want to see, somebody asked for This Sorrowful Life, and that's the Merle episode from near the season 3 finale. I'll consider that. Of course, probably will be busy with the new episodes hitting this week. But depending on if you guys really like these, when this season ends, I could definitely do more. Or maybe even if I could throw in 1 or 2 kind of random throwback episodes to some of the best episodes of the Walking Dead TV series throughout this half of the season, maybe I will. But definitely this summer, that's something, if you guys like this, I could do. I mean, there's so many episodes, I could even do more. I could do a whole month of throwback reviews, maybe 1 a day or something. Let me know what you guys think. If that's what you're interested in, if you want to see that, I'll do it. It's up to you. If you like this throwback review, please thumb it up below. You want to help support the channel, please share it, please favorite it. That's it for this one, guys. See you tomorrow for the big premiere for the second half of The Walking Dead Season 5. Trev, say peace.